Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. I'd like to talk a minute about possible immigration reform. It's on a lot of people's minds, and thankfully, President Obama went to uh, Texas just last week and for the first time in a long time brought up the issue of having to do immigration reform. Now, it seems that up until this point, everybody's been afraid to touch it. Um, the Republicans, the Democrats, everybody, nobody's wanted to come and touch it. But since his announcement, the DREAM Act seems to be back on the table again, which, if it passes, will allow students going to college who basically came here as little kids to be able to eventually obtain legal status because it was no fault of their own that they came here illegally, and or they came here legally and went out of status. So we really need immigration reform because what's happening is you have all these states like Arizona and other states that are making these outlandish immigration laws, these restrictionist immigration laws that do not permit or allow foreigners all kinds of rights, and that clearly trump on the rights of the federal government and the immigration laws. I mean, you've seen what happens in Arizona. Um, for the most part, it went all the way up to the appellate courts, and the vast majority was struck down as being unconstitutional, a violation of separation of powers, and so forth. And now the governor of Arizona, surprisingly, has brought it up to the U.S. Supreme Court. I have serious doubts whether the Supreme Court will hear the case. But in any event, there's other states that are attempting to do the same thing. So what's happening is you have these states that are attempting to make these runaway, renegade immigration laws that violate laws, rights up and down, that are unconstitutional. But why are they doing this? They're doing this in their ill-fated attempt to try to regulate immigration, which is in the hands of the federal government. So if, as President Obama asked, if immigration reform was taken and the Republicans and the Democrats came together, then you'd stop having these states try to make their own immigration laws, which basically they're not supposed to do. And once immigration reform goes through, then everybody hopefully will be happy to some degree. Immigration reform doesn't mean let everybody in and forget all the immigration laws. Immigration reform means you have the enforcement side of it, so make a fair enforcement side, and then you have the affirmative side where they apply for immigration benefits. So make it fair, equal, and give a chance to people who don't have any legal right to be here but have been contributing in the underground economy for 20 years to have a right to stay by applying and working for residency as most other applicants do. Okay, more in the coming videos.